welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a little Q&A. I reached out to Instagram and put up a bunch of questions, saying, hey, ask me anything about law school, anything that you are genuinely curious about with law school, and I got a lot of responses. So I figured that this video I will be addressing all of your questions, and hopefully that they'll be helpful to you in your next step as becoming an attorney. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Nikki, and I talk about all things law school related or fitness and anything else, pretty much. First question, what law school do you attend? Okay, I am at Barry University Law School or Duane Andreas School of Law. Their main campus is based out in Miami Gardens. Their law school campus is out in Orlando. What year are you? I am a 3L, which means you're third year law student. Home stretch, and I'm really excited to graduate. Any tips on studying? Okay. I'll be honest, law school is very trial and error. So you would have to determine the best way to study for you and how the study method works, because it is nothing like how you have studied previously. So undergraduate, high school, if you've done a master's program, same thing. Studying law, you're entering a new territory. You are entering into a land of, I have no idea what is going on. So with that being said, your first year is really going to determine how you can study and what works best for you. I personally suggest getting supplements, and you can usually find those in your library or on Amazon. There's an online site called quimby.com that you can use, and they have videos that help explain different types of material that is okay. What I don't suggest is using supplements instead of actually reading for class. So I know some students in my school that use Quimby or they use supplements to teach themselves, which is fine, but then they don't do any actual work. They don't read what they're supposed to read. They don't read the cases they're supposed to read, and I honestly think that is a huge disservice, because once you go into practice and you don't know how to read a case or how to pull the rule of law from that case, your boss is gonna look at you like, what did you do the whole time you were in law school? How do you not know how to read a case? How do you not know how to brief it? How do you not understand what this is telling you? So that is my best advice. Use those supplements as a way to better comprehend the material, but I don't suggest it to learn. Also studying, I know there are some people who try and study for 12 hours a day and they get exhausted. Break that into increments. Study for like 2 to 4 hours, take a nice break, come back, revisit the material, because let's be real, going 12 hours straight is unrealistic even in people who actually work or practice law. There is just no way that people do things for 12 to 10 hours a day straight. They need a break, they need to be able to retain the material, and they need to be able to understand and go in it with a clear head. So I would suggest that. Getting rooms at the library. I know that most law schools have different sections where you can just have your own room, like a study carrel, and that helps, so that way you won't be distracted by noise or by other people bothering you. That's a good tip. Overall, do your work and you should be okay. Don't be afraid of emailing the professors if you have questions, and just make sure you get your outlines intact and ready. Do you suggest having study groups? That really depends on you. Just as I previously said, studying, especially your first year, is going to be trial and error. You're really going to have to see how you study better, how you work better. If study groups work for you, if you feel that you can be productive and you understand the material with a collab of people, do it. If not, then, and you need to be by yourself, that is okay too. I personally have done both. I've had study groups, and then I've had time where I've just studied by myself, and to be perfectly honest, I did the best when I was by myself. I got the best grades and I've gotten A's and even a book award for that semester that I worked completely by myself without anybody. So I guess working by myself is better. So it really just depends. Some people like to work in groups because it helps them understand the material. Also trust, but verify. Just because someone in your group says this is the way it is, but you still either don't understand or you don't really believe what they're saying, email the professor. That's what they're there for. Email your professor or go see them during office hours, ask questions, and they'll help you. Because it's better to know 100% than believe your friend and come the final they were wrong. Tips on getting a high LSAT score. Well, to be perfectly honest, I took the LSAT twice. So needless to say that my first score wasn't as great, but my second score improved dramatically. I took Kaplan, and I was also working at the time, so I factor in that because I think that if you can't really dedicate 100% of your studying to the LSAT, I'm not saying that you won't do well, but I do think it plays a factor in how you will do. The second time I took the LSAT, I used a company called PowerScore, and I did so much better, and I also wasn't working at the time and my score improved, so definitely take that into consideration. Overall, it really again depends on you. You have to figure out how you study, how you work, and you just have to be honest with yourself. If you're not that person who can tackle on work and taking the LSAT, then maybe consider taking some time off. I also got a tutor with PowerScore, and it helped because I'm a person that I can't just do books and read the explanation. I kind of need some more one-on-one help. I think that played a factor into it as well. And if you can do that option, I highly suggest that. So, no. Okay, with Legally Blonde, there's just no way that a first-year law student would try a criminal case. There's just no way. You do not have the sufficient knowledge to even know exactly what to do. And mind you, your first year of law school, you only took 1 semester of criminal law and 1 semester of criminal procedure and also 1 semester of evidence. But Crim Pro and evidence is your second year. So you only have criminal law your first year. You don't even know what evidence is yet. You have no idea even what to do. And I was like, there's just no way you can try a case like that. Just absolutely not. That aspect, completely wrong. But it makes for a good movie, so there's that. But the studying, I would have to say, is very accurate. You're definitely always taking your books everywhere. You are constantly studying, constantly reading and writing. So if you don't like to read or write a lot, then I would consider another profession. This is not for you. Seeing people divide outline sharing and with their study group, divide the work, is something that happens, but at least in my experience, it hasn't been very effective. Again, trust but verify, because you never know that there could be something that your friend understands a little bit differently and isn't 100% correct. So it's always better just to make sure that you understand the material and you know what exactly is going on in the class, and make sure you have your own outlines for yourself. Don't rely on other people's outlines. I'm trying to think what else in that movie is accurate or not accurate. Not everyone in law school is going to wear suits. That's not really a thing people do, is wear suits. If they wear suits, it's because they're coming from work. Normally upperclassmen tend to get jobs, so they're in suits when they go to class. Or you're in a motions and depots class or a trial advocacy class, or different classes make you dress up in courtroom attire for for their class, but the majority, everyone's in nice clothing, not courtroom attire. For how to get away with murder, same thing. There's no way that these students would have the workload they had and be able to even stay in school, to be perfectly honest with you, or even know the extent of law that they know just being first years. That doesn't happen. Also, my law school, at least, they don't make us stand up when we have to speak, when we ask questions or whatever, but cold calling, which is where they just ask you a question out of nowhere without your hand being raised or anything like that, is definitely very accurate for both. How do you choose a law school? That really depends first on your own preference and your LSAT score, because let's be completely honest, you really want to go to Harvard but you have like a 140 on your LSAT, that's pretty much not going to happen. So you need to at least meet the minimum of requirements of the school that you want to go to. So look at their minimum GPA from college that they would like, and the LSAT score that they would also like from you. If you have both, fantastic. Now you don't know which one to pick. I would also look into bar passage rate, see which school has a high bar passage rate, and look into location. So with location, more likely than not, you are going to be graduating law school and you're going to be working in that same area that you went to law school in, whether that be New York, whether that be Miami, whether that be Orlando, whether that be wherever. And you have to really see if that is a place that you like. And also keep in mind that where you go to law school also determines what bar you have to take. So if you want to practice in New York, then probably look into going to law school in New York. If you want to stay in Florida, also think about going to a school in Florida, different things like that. It's not required, so if you later on feel that you want to take a bar in another state, you can do so, but it just makes more sense to go to law school in a state that you want to practice in, at least first. Like where you live. I think that's very important. This is somewhere that you think is decent, that you can be happy in. I suggest that. What if you don't know what you want to practice going into law school? That is completely okay. Most people who go into law school, they either don't know what they want to do, or they know what they want to do and end up picking something else, or they know what they want to do and they continue to practice that. Don't freak out. You'll get there, I promise. What I suggest is after your first year has passed and you're more free to pick different electives, I would suggest you picking different courses that interest you, so that way you can see what area of law you might like. If you like tax law, if you want to practice immigration law, or any of those, I suggest taking courses in that. Or if your school has a legal clinic, I would also suggest seeing how you may join that. They work directly with attorneys and they work on real cases, and that'll not only give you some experience, but it will also help you see if that's the type of area of law that you would like to practice in. I also would suggest, if you don't want to do any of those things, get a summer internship. If you don't want to take classes during the summer, I highly suggest looking for a summer internship. See what law firm either does pro bono or would just take you in as an intern, and then you can not only gain real experience as a practicing attorney, but also seeing if that's an area of law that you would like to practice in. What advice would you give to somebody who wants to go to law school? Don't do it! I'm just kidding. My biggest advice would be to tell them if they are prepared to put in the work, if they are prepared to put in long hours, if they are prepared to not sleep, be stressed a lot, then do it. If they love the legal profession, if they love law, and if this is what they really want to do with their life, do it. Go for it. Because If you're just doing this to think that you're gonna make money, my friend, you are in for a rude awakening. This is not the place. And I tell people that all the time, like, oh, I just want to do it to make money. Like, it's 2020. There's so much knowledge in investing and how to make money very, very easily. Like, this information is readily available. You know what I'm saying? Feel me? Like, it boggles my mind when people say that. I'm just doing this to make money. There's so many other ways to make money and not have to go through the pain of law school, I promise. And that's exactly what I've told a few of my friends who have thought about it. I said, because it's a very demanding education. You don't have the time to see your friends or loved ones because you're studying and you're reading and you're putting in the work and the time, and it gets difficult, it gets very hard. And it gets discouraging also, because I know there are people, I'm one of them, who have studied for so long, and come the exam I get a B or I get a C, which apparently is great for law school, but you know, it's still discouraging after putting in so much work and sacrificing a lot of time and effort. It's hard, it's very hard. And if you're just in it to make money, this is not the place for you at all. If you really love the legal profession, this is your dream, it's something that you really want to do, and you want to practice, go for it. Go for it. If not, don't waste your time, don't waste your money, because I promise you there are other ways that you could get a great sum and without having to do this. You have to really love it if you want to do it. Do the professors haze you? What? Clarify, professors don't haze you. In law school, what they do is called the Socratic method. So they purposely cold call you, which is they call you at random and ask you specific facts about the case or the ruling or different questions, things of that nature. And they purposely kind of put a little bit of pressure, like today, counselor, or say something like that. It's just part of a way of teaching. And again, it deters students a little bit from asking their professors questions, but I promise you that they are there to help you, even though maybe during class you're like, what are you saying to me? I don't understand. Like you're speaking to me in Chinese. I have no idea what you're saying. It's just what it is. Like that's their form of teaching, but that doesn't mean that if you reach out to them after class or during their office hours that they're not going to help you try and understand. They will. So no, I guess professors don't haze you. It's just called the Socratic method, which is amazing. It's a different form of teaching. Is it true that your first year is the hardest and then it gets easier? Oh man. No, absolutely not. And I definitely fell for that lie, because whoever told me, I don't even remember who it was a freaking liar, because that is not the case at all. And then later on, I heard this other saying that's like, first year's the hardest, or 1L year, scare you to death, 2L year, work you to death, 3L year, bore you to death. I believe that a little bit more, because my first year, I definitely was scared to death. I had no idea what was going on. I did not like the Socratic method. I did not like professors picking on me. I did not like being cold called. I freaked out when we were having midterms because I was studying my butt off and I wasn't doing well and I didn't understand what was going on. In that respect, that's pretty true. 2L year, they work you to death. I definitely said my second year was probably my hardest in terms of work. The material you understand, you comprehend now after going through your first year, but it was definitely a lot more work, a lot more intense, and a lot rigorous. Third year, I'm gonna say they bore you to death. I still haven't found that to be the case. I'm still working a lot and I'm still studying a lot. And especially now, your third year is when not only do you have the bar to worry about, but you have to worry about applying for jobs, and you have cover letters to form, and you have a whole laundry list of things to do. So I don't know where that happened. I would like to be bored. I would like to, you know, make TikTok videos and do all this fun stuff, you know. And yeah, I do YouTube. And yeah, I do work out and post videos. But that to me is my little release, especially right now in quarantine. I need an outlet, but I'd like to be bored instead of being overworked all the time. That'd be nice. So to answer your question, no. After first year, it doesn't get easier by any means. Just keep working hard and staying on your toes. You're gonna be fine. That doesn't mean that you're going to be a hermit and you're going to be locked in this little cave of sadness and books all the time. You know, just make time for different things. You really have to learn to manage your time correctly, and then you will have more freedom to do things you like to do, like go to the gym or golf or whatever you like to do. Just make time for it. Can you work during law school? I know most schools, your first year, you absolutely can't work at all whatsoever. And I have to double check if Barry says that. I know that Barry University also does a part-time program. So there's part-time students, obviously they're allowed to work. Not 100% sure if Barry says we can't. I don't remember. But a lot of schools definitely say the first year you can't, or if you do, it has to be a minimum of 20 hours a week. I just knew I couldn't, just like the LSAT, I knew that I couldn't work and then study at the same time, so I just cut it off altogether my first year, and I suggest that. I worked during the summer. I found an internship, paid internship luckily, and I learned how to write motions and how to get ready for trial, different things like that, a lot in the personal injury area of law. So it was definitely an eye-opener, maybe something that I'd be interested in pursuing. I suggest that if you really are interested in working, is to finding an internship over the summer. My second and third year, I just found some part-time jobs that I was able to do just to earn a little bit of side money. But as for an actual job in a law office or anything like that, I didn't. I just know myself, and I know that I would need to be committed to school 100%, and I couldn't do that. And then also work, because I know also being at work, you want to have a good impression, so you want to do work well. But if you're stressing about school and stressing about work, it's gonna fail. So I know some friends who have done that, who are doing that, and they're stressed out. They look stressed out, even more than we are. But they manage, so it's possible. It's definitely possible. Again, that just goes back into time managing. If you can manage your time accordingly, you can really do a lot. However, you just have to know yourself and just know what's best for you. If you can, great. If you can't, don't even worry about it. Don't even stress it. Better to just focus on doing the work and graduating. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in and watching. I hope that I was helpful and I was able to answer all of your questions. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you want to see more videos like this, drop a comment down below. Or if you have any questions that I haven't answered, also feel free to drop a comment down below. And I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. Stay tuned for my video next week. It's gonna be a little bit more fun, a little bit different. I do put up videos every Wednesday, so please click the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel so that way you won't miss a single video.